Hello, and welcome to another episode of Something Chat Show with Tom Jr. Jackson presents After the Movie Review Holiday Edition, Episode 2. It's Episode 2, not 22. It's Episode 2. And today's movie we'll be talking about is the 1983 classic A Christmas Story. But first, are you looking for a YouTube channel to watch that's different and fun, where you can become part of the community? Well, for as little as 99 cents a month, you can be part of that community. What community am I talking about? It is the Post Geek Singularity YouTube channel. And the channel is procured by the one and only your captain, Robert Meyer Burnett. Now, what does his channel have to offer you, you ask? Well, his channel offers this: shows like Midnight Musings, Midnight Metal, Fully Articulated, Let's Get Physical Media, Whining About Movies, Robservations with Robert Meyer Burnett, the captain, director of Free Enterprise, and producer of such special features that are on the extended edition Blu-rays of the Lord of the Rings films. He's done the special features for Superman Returns, special features for The Usual Suspects, and those special features on The Usual Suspects are coming up on the 4K as well, folks. And as well as he was animatic editor on Dota Dragon's Blood, which you can now watch all 3 seasons on Netflix. So check that out. And the latest show on the Post Geek Singularity YouTube channel is Ladies of the PGS with your host, RM. She is my friend. She is I am her co-collaborator. I am the moderator on her channel, which we'll get to in a minute. But she has a show called Ladies of the PGS, which is every Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. And they talk about everything from Marvel, DC, sci-fi, sex, horror, and everything in between. So check that show out. And speaking of RM, she has her own channel called Ladies of the PGS. No, that's her show. Her channel is called Positive Fandom. And she does unboxings, and she does reviews, such as out of the theater reviews, movie reviews, theatrical trailer reviews, and reactions. And she has a show every Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific, and it's called Sunday Brunch Live. And you can check that out with her and her co-host, Russ Whitfield. And they parlay all the pop culture that is accumulated during the week that is fully amount to parlay. So check that show out every Sunday morning and join us, shall you? On with the show. Thank you for letting me do that little bit of house cleaning, and now on with the show. We are going to talk about the 1983 classic, A Christmas Carol. Now, if there's a movie that just felt like home, a movie that could encapsulate what you want Christmas to feel like, it is A Christmas Story. And that movie was a big part of my childhood. It was directed by Bob Clark, who also directed Black Christmas. He directed Porky's. And this story was based on Gene Shepard's novel, In God We Trust, and All Others Pay Cash. It was adapted into a screenplay by Lee Brown and Bob Clark. And the film stars Peter Billingsley, Melinda Dillon, Darren McGavin, who was Kojak, the night, Kojak, the Night Stalker. He did those films, and Zach Ward is in it, and Scott Schwartz, and Ian Petrilna, and Gene Shepard as the voice of the adult Ralphie. It's a classic. It's a film classic. The film takes place in 1940s Indiana, and all Ralphie wants for Christmas. It's a Red Ryder range 200-shot BB gun for Christmas. And it is about his adventures in trying to get this gun for Christmas. And remember, this is back in the 40s when, they listened to the radio and they'd be interested in Westerns, and they all want those guns and stuff like that. And this is back in the day when things like that could happen. I love this movie for the fact that it is one of those films where every holiday season, every Christmas season, you can watch it. It'll be on some network, and they will play it on a loop. And it's great to watch on Christmas morning or Christmas Eve. It's certainly a big part of my family growing up. And I recently watched this again to prepare for this review, and it still holds up. It is still funny, and it made me laugh like I've never laughed before, and I really enjoyed it. It still holds up. The jokes are still funny. I mean, how can you not with fudge? Come on. We all know what he really was saying, folks. And then you have Darren McGavin, who's the father, who whenever he'd get mad, he'd be like, so he would ad-lib all that profanity because, and he used gibberish, because using the real profane words to ad-lib angry would have been bad, and it would have been like R. But the reason that it sounds all gibberishy, it gives that sort of cartoon-like vibe, but in a way it makes you think, because this is looking back, Ralphie looking back on his childhood. So in his mind, it's all like like that. According to Peter Billingsley, who played Ralphie, which, by the way, fun fact, Robert Meyer Burnett, host of Robservations, host of the procurator of the Post Geek Singularity channel, worked with Peter Billingsley. He knows him, and that's pretty cool. According to Peter Billingsley, not many major studios were interested in a story about a little boy in the 1940s who wanted a BB gun for Christmas. And I mean, if you think about it, it's a simple, it's a simple story, a simple premise, but they didn't want to do it. So in order for Bob Clark to make it, studio that made it, I think it was MGM, only agreed to make the film if Bob Clark agreed to make a horror film. So I think that film after he did this was at Black Christmas. I could be wrong. Now, the film was released on November 18th, 1983. So that means next year, November 18th, 2023, will be the 40th anniversary of this film. This film was released just before Thanksgiving, became a big hit. This film was a big hit back in the 80s. And by the time Christmas rolled around, the movie had been played out and it was pulled from theaters. And um, excuse me, theater owners and the studio got complaints from people wanting to see this movie at Christmas time. So it only played on select screens until after the first of 1984. All right, so think about it. We are a year or two away from the 40th anniversary of Ghostbusters as well. True story, my friends. That is a true story. If you notice in the film, the family eats meatloaf, red cabbage, and mashed potatoes every night for dinner. And the only time they don't is when they go out for Christmas Eve. Is when they have their Christmas dinner. That's the the only time that they don't eat cabbage, red cabbage, meatloaf, and mashed potatoes. Let's see here. Director Bob Clark mentions on the 2003 DVD that he worked with Gene Shepard for nearly 10 years on the concept of A Christmas Story before the film was even made. So they worked on the script for like 10 years, trying to perfect it, trying to get it to a point where they could release it as a movie. And I like that it was worked on. So that means it went through many different scripts and many different iterations before they came to the right place with it. This show inspired the creation of the Wonder Years as well. That I did not know, because I like to do my research on these things. See, I watch a movie, and while I'm watching it, I will do research on it, and start writing out my review as I, watch it. And when I saw that, it surprised me. Surprised me a lot, because I wasn't expecting that. I don't think anybody's expecting to hear that a movie is inspired by the Wonder Years. I mean, the Wonder Years inspired. No, that something inspired the Wonder Years, like this film did. My mind goes faster than my mouth can talk. There was a fantasy sequence that was filmed, but it was cut, where Ralphie joins Flash Gordon in his fight against Ming the Merciless, and it was dropped from the final cut. I would have liked to have seen that. Ralphie fighting with Flash Gordon against Ming the Merciless. That would have been interesting. People who were up for the role of Ralphie were Sean Astin, Will Wheaton. They auditioned for the role but did not get it. Now, Gene Shepard. Okay, for all you Disney fans out there, these Disney World fans, if you're a fan of the Carousel of Progress, the voice of the character John may sound familiar to you, because that is the voice of Gene Shepard, the narrator of A Christmas Story. I did not know that either, but that is pretty cool. In 2021, it was announced that a sequel to A Christmas Story would be made with Peter Billingsley returning as Ralphie, and a lot of the cast, the kids and stuff, would be returning as well. And they just released a teaser trailer for it recently, and on November 17th, 2022, this month, will be the sequel on HBO Max called A Christmas Story Christmas. And I remember hearing about this being made, and then I completely forgot about it until one day I watched this and I started thinking about it. And I was like, well, I haven't seen a trailer for it yet. Boom, there you go. A trailer shows up on um this channel. I mean on YouTube for it. A teaser trailer. And you see Ralphie putting on his glasses again. So it will be fun watching this. Melinda Dillon, who played the mother, she's not going to be in it. Darren McGavin has passed away in 2016, I believe. So he won't be in it, but it will be. I believe it's supposed to be a tribute, done in as a tribute to Darren McGavin, and I believe at one point, Jack Nicholson was interested in playing the old man. He read the script and was interested in playing the old man, but the studio had no interest in paying Jack Nicholson's salary, the amount of salary that he wanted for the film. That would have been a really interesting take of seeing Jack Nicholson as Ralphie's dad. And I really like that idea. But Darren McGavin was perfect. The man who played the father, perfect casting. And he was great. You know, he was great. And I think he's 17 years older than Melinda Dillon or something like that. Melinda Dillon, who was also in Harry and the Hendersons. She also plays the mom in that too. That's another great little film too from the 80s. The 80s had these great films that, you know, you could watch them and you will happen to get that nostalgia feeling, or you just enjoy it. And I believe like there are films like E.T. and Mac and Me. And if you know Mac and Me, folks, you know, you've seen Paul Rudd show the clip of the boy in the wheelchair going down the hill and falling off the cliff and into the water. Many, many times. Yeah, so it's Christmas Story is just one of those films that if it's on TV, I'll watch it. Doesn't matter where it is in the middle of the film, I will watch it, and I know exactly where it's going to go. I believe last year we showed my niece for the first time that movie. I think she liked it as well. Was it last year? I think so. But definitely a great holiday film to watch. And it's great to watch anytime if you want. If you really want to focus on a fantastic little film like this, I would definitely say if you celebrate Christmas or you celebrate the holidays and you're looking for something to watch with the family, or just watch just to remember those days, Christmas Story is the movie for you. Again, I want to thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're up to 86 channel members so far. Let's get these numbers up so we can get me up to 100 or even more. The more people see this, and the more people that see this, you know, we'll get some good positive things. I've heard nothing but positive people liking my things, and I like that. I do want to say a big thank you again to Robert Meyer Burnett of the Post Geek Singularity and RM of Positive Fandom for always supporting my channel and supporting the things that I do here as well. And I am so proud to be a part of the Post Geek Singularity and Positive Fandom as a moderator and help keep things going and the positive interactions that I have with the members on that channel. which, by the way, for the 99 cents, one of the perks you can get for being a member of the Post Geek Singularity is every other week. So it's like every so 2 times a month, they do a members only Zoom chat that lasts about 3, 4, maybe 5 hours with Rob. And it's only if you're a member of the channel. And at any tier of the channel, you can join the chat. And if you have a good camera, a good microphone, good lighting, you can talk with Rob and ask him any questions you want about his filming with William Shatner, or working on the Lord of the Rings, or X-Men, or Usual Suspects, or Superman Returns, or anything like that. Rob will answer that. Rob likes talking to people. You get 10 minutes with him. You raise the little icon on here on the Zoom app, that the hand that raises, and they do it all online, and you get to have a great time talking with them. It is one of those things that where I would say, for someone that works in Hollywood, he is the most accessible person to talk to. You can talk to him about anything, and Rob knows his stuff. Rob knows exactly what he's talking about. He's a good guy. He's a good guy, and I'm proud to call him my friend. And we're trying to work it out where he can come on the channel and I can interview him, because I want to start doing interviews. He's my first choice for the first interview. So hopefully we can get him on the show. He said yes. It's all about, setting up a time for the show. As I said before, I want to thank you all for watching. You have been a great audience, and I hope to see you again for our next episode of After the Movie Review, Holiday Edition. And I believe the next one that's coming up in the playlist that you're probably watching right now will be Elf. And then after that, we'll probably be doing Disney's Robert Zemeckis' and Disney's A Christmas Story as well. So until next time, folks, please remember, no matter who you are, no matter where you go, there you are, and we are all goof people. Thank you for watching, and have a pleasant tomorrow. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.